Good morning, darling.
Good morning.
Steve, what happened to your hand?
Oh, nothing. I just had an accident.
Who did you have look at it, Steve?
Oh, was a young doctor at Memorial, Dr. Preddy. He did a great job.
Well, how do things stand? Are you going to Colorado?
Yep, Tom got permission from the Attorney General to take him out of state.
You can be going too, Bob?
No, I'm afraid I can't get away.
Are you sure it won't be too much for you and the baby?
No, it's all right. I saw Dr. Samuel. She said I'd be okay. I just have to be careful, of course.
And I'm going to take very good care of both of them.
When are you going to be leaving?
Well, it depends. Tom's meeting with Judge Fielding this morning. He's trying to block the DA's request to move the trial out of Oakdale.
There was also extensive coverage of the kidnapping in the City Times and the Argus, not to mention, Your Honor, the local coverage on radio and television and the nightly news. Now, I maintain in light of this, it would be impossible to find an impartial jury in the community of Oakdale.
Thank you, Mr. Hobson. Mr. Hughes, you disagree?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. There's clearly been a lot of publicity about this case. Of course, there's been as much publicity in the state capitol as there has been here in Oakdale. I'm convinced that Mr. Hobson wants to move the case for another reason. My client is a well-respected member of the community. Her husband is chief of staff of Memorial Hospital. And I'm sure Mr. Hobson knows that her standing might damage his case.
Your client, Kimberly Hughes, is your father's wife, isn't that so?
Yes, Your Honor, that's true.
I was just about to point that out, Your Honor.
No need, Mr. Hobson. I understand that she's pregnant. Is this also a consideration in your argument?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. I think a change of venue now would work a hardship on her, but my prime consideration is a fair trial, and I am convinced we can get that here in Oakdale.
Very good. I will consider both your arguments and let you know my decision.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, is it possible that you'll be rendering a decision on this sometime this morning?
Yes, why?
Well, I'd like to bring my client back to Colorado, to the house where she admits to killing Douglas Cummings in order to protect her niece from being killed.
Well, I really object to that.
Really?
Why, Mr. Hobson? This isn't a trial. Not yet.
Stewardess, could you tell me what time we'll be arriving in Boulder?
I'll check with the pilot. We may be running a little late.
Late. Thank you. I have to catch a helicopter. She doesn't want to know about my helicopter, okay?
Is the stewardess around? I could really use some Dramamine.
Oh, she's just going to find out what time we're landing.
Shot through the air in a silver tube.
I really do appreciate you coming with me.
I sure hope Hobson doesn't find out how I'm spending my weekend.
He's not going to find out from me.
Does Tom know?
No, I want to be in and out of there before he gets there.
You still think you're going to find something we overlooked, huh?
Maybe I can reconstruct things from Kim's point of view better than a man can. Besides, I just want to help.
Help Tom.
No, help Kim.
Right. You know, Margot, I really don't blame Tom for putting up a fight to keep you.
As the world turns. This portion brought to you today by new Liquid Bold 3 detergent with fabric softener built right in, and by Lemon Fresh Joy. One little squirt puts the squeeze on dirt.
Well, I'm glad you asked for a quick decision because it will only work in my favor.
Mr. Hobson, I'm sure Judge Fielding knows why you've asked for a change of venue. Furthermore, I think she's suspicious as to why you asked for an indictment in the first place.
Oh, no, take it easy, counselor. I mean, I know it's rough having to defend a member of your own family on a murder charge, especially when your marriage is falling apart.
Let me tell you something, Hobson.
Thank you for waiting, gentlemen. I've come to my decision. I don't think that there is sufficient ground for change of venue, so I'm denying your request, Mr. Hobson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But while we're here together, there's something that I must say. It's very obvious that there's some personal hostility between the two of you, and I want you both to know that I will not tolerate any of that hostility inside my courtroom when this case comes to trial.
Your Honor, any
So
hostility...
I suggest that you find a way to deal with this before you begin jury selection. Good morning, gentlemen.
Your Honor, when will jury selection begin?
I have a request from Mr. Hobson that we start as soon as possible.
Well, I made that request, Your Honor, because, well, in light of Mrs. Hughes's condition, I feel that the longer it takes, the more difficult it could be for her.
I didn't know that your testimony went to such extent to the grand jury here.
Oh, it's just because I was the only one that was in on it from the beginning when it looked like a simple harassment case.
And I see that Hobson also is basing his whole case on the bed hangings.
Yeah.
The fact that one was slashed and Doug Cummings' has blood on the other one, and that Kim's testimony does not explain the evidence. In
Right.
fact, it contradicts it.
Right.
I have a theory. Do you mind if I run it by you?
Sure, give it a stab.
All right, let's say Franny and Doug got into a fierce struggle while he was attacking her, all right? What if she tried to stab him? And he grabbed her arm, and while they were struggling, she slashed the bed hanging, all right? That would explain the slash in the bed hanging.
But what about the blood?
I'm getting to that. Just wait a minute. I'm getting to that. Slashing. All right. Kim comes in, sees what's going on. She takes the cylinder, and she stabs Doug. And then wipes her hands on the hanging.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's fine, except that Kim never said that in her statement, and Franny never said anything about picking up the crystal cylinder or stabbing it.
You think I'm reaching, don't you?
I think you're letting your feelings get in the way of your judgment.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of that lately.
Well, we'd love to have Andy over for dinner while you're gone.
Oh, honey, thanks very much, but he's going to be with John while I'm away.
Really? Whose idea was that?
It was mine. I just thought it would be a good idea for the two of them to have some time together.
Steve, you take care of that hand now, huh? Oh, sure. Yeah, no problem.
Well, Bob will have you over, too, so you won't miss Kim so much.
Great, great. I'd love to come over, but I'll still miss her.
Tom.
Good news. Judge Fielding just denied Hobson's request for a change of venue.
Oh, honey.
Well, good work,
you.
son.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. Now, listen, I called the airport. We can leave in about an hour. How long is it going to take you to get ready?
Just a couple of minutes. I just have to throw some things in.
I'm all packed.
Terrific. The sooner we get going, the better.
It's on the bed.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, don't worry about anything. We're going to have everything under control,
I know
okay?
you will. I will.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, look, you take good care of him, huh? I will. You there. Take care of yourself, all right? Okay. All right.
Bye-bye, Tom.
Good luck.
Take care, Kim. Bye.
How are you holding up?
Oh, I'm, okay.
Kim, when we get there... Look, I know going back to Doug's place is going to hold a lot of difficult and painful memories for you. Some you probably don't want to discuss with anybody. But when we do get back there, you've got to be honest with me. You've got to tell me everything, no matter how painful those memories may be, no matter how ugly, or I just can't really defend you.
Tom.
Honey, I put your suitcase in the car.
And I'm ready.
Oh.
Okay, you two, I expect you to take care of each other, and Thomas, I expect you to take care of them and the baby. I will. Kim, you started to say something just a second ago.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't important. Oh, I'm going to miss you so much.
Miss you, too.
Oh, yes, but I want more. More plaza. And maybe fountains. Like that. And in the center, I want an imposing matriarchal piece of sculpture. I know, like in New York. The Henry Moore in New York. The eviscerated mother.
This will cost millions of dollars, Lucinda.
Yes, isn't that wonderful? It's my spiritual home. It's my corporate image. I can't redo my image without spending money.
All right, I understand.
Oh, I forgot. I wanted to tell you that I'm giving you Craig's old office.
Lucinda, thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Redecorated, of course, because I know you don't want reminders of Craig, and neither do I.
Hello, Mother.
Darling.
How are you?
I'm fine. Darling, I had a wonderful night's sleep, and I woke up this morning. I'm ready to go, top of the world.
Good. Hey, Tonio, I called the office and Jane told me you were here. I was hoping we could have lunch together.
I'm not sure. I have some things to do for your mother.
Oh, no, Tonio, that's all right. That's all right. They can wait. As a matter of fact, why don't we three have lunch on the terrace?
Fine.
Well, good. I'll go and tell Cook. That is, if you all don't mind waiting a little bit, because Griselda's here and I have to have a polished shave.
All right. We don't mind.
No, I wanted to ask you, though, how's Lily?
Lily? Oh, Lily's good. We had a wonderful talk. It was just, a teenage crisis. We are better and closer than we've ever been before.
Good.
Okay. I'll see you. See you, darling.
Tonio? Tonio, I know that you're angry with me because of last night.
Sierra, I don't want to talk about
We have to talk about it. Tonio, I'm trying to be honest. It's the only way we can have a good marriage.
Sierra, you turn away from me every time I want to make love to you. I don't see how that is my fault.
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to pretend? Do you want me to fake feelings I don't really feel? Tonio, look at me, please. Look, I am trying. I'm trying to be honest. I was honest with you before we even got married. I told you that I still had feelings for Craig. I told you that. I told you I didn't want to come back to Oakdale, but you wanted to. I told you I never wanted to see him again or see this place. We came here because of you, and now you can't turn your back on me.
Sierra, what do you want me to do?
Well, I'm going to get over my feelings for Craig. But until I do, Tonio, I can't make love with you just because you expect it. I need some time.
Sierra, this is insane. I mean, how long? How long are you going to turn away from me tonight?
Well, I can't give you an exact date. Tonio, please understand.
Hey, I thought I heard a car pull in.
Yeah, I invited Steve for a healthy lunch.
Hey, good to see you.
Yeah. Good to see you, too.
Yeah. Oh, you know, Mom and I were just talking about you. I was out looking at those rotten boards in the hayloft. She said you were going to take care of them?
Yeah, I haven't gotten around to that yet. I'm sorry.
Oh, look, I know you've been busy.
Look, let me take a look at it right now. Maybe I can get to it this week.
Have lunch first. Come on, have lunch first.
I'll be back in.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You know, I hardly slept last night after what you told me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to dump all my problems on you. I needed somebody to talk to.
I can hardly believe you carried that around for all these years. And there's still so much I don't understand. What, do you mind talking about this?
No, what do you want to know?
Well, where did you go to have the baby? Who helped you through it?
I went to a home in Chicago for unwed mothers, and they took care of the details. I really can't say too much more about it.
I wish I'd known. When I think about you going through that all alone.
So now maybe you'll understand why I had such a low opinion of myself when I first met Ted?
You shouldn't have felt like that.
Well, I was young. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, that part of my life was a big mistake. I just hope someday I can forgive myself. I also wonder if I'll ever stop paying for it.
Did you have any luck on convincing Steve to accept my help?
I didn't have the heart.
Well, look, I just want to do it because I do want to help him, and things are going very well for me right now.
Craig, he's not going to take money from you.
He's going to have to learn to take help from somewhere.
Well, I'm going to help him.
How?
Tad Channing is the one who's causing all these problems. I'm going to have a talk with him.
Come on. Let me consider that.
Why? It's too late. Listen, I've already called him and made an appointment to talk to him.
Call him up and cancel it.
No, Craig, I want to talk to the guy. I want to tell him exactly what he's been doing to my family.
Do you think he's really going to care about that?
I don't know. Look, the guy can't be all bad. Iva was in love with him.
Oh, really? Really? Well, why don't you ask Iva what she thinks about him now? She's
Craig,
going to tell you
what's the
steer clear
harm?
of him.
He can't do anything to me.
Sweetheart, you're going to make things worse. Now call him up and cancel.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Mr. Channing.
Hi, I hope my timing's all right.
No, your timing was just fine. Well, Craig, didn't you have that lunch?
Oh, that can wait.
No,
No
no
problem.
Go right ahead.
problem.
No,
I can't
really,
wait
I
to
have
wait.
everything under control. Really.
Aye, aye.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Yes, whatever it is, good luck. Well, are you free for lunch?
No, Mr. Channing, I can't leave the office while my boss is away. I just wanted to have a chance to talk to...
Hello, Lorenzo? Yes, Ted Channing. Well, I'm trapped in an office here with a very charming young lady. Could you send some lunch over for us?
I'm not...
Thank you, Lorenzo. What's the special today?
Yes, please ask Mr. Channing to call Tonio Reyes at Walsh Enterprises to discuss plans for the new building as soon as possible. All right, thank you.
So, can we finish our conversation now?
I don't think we have anything more to say,
Antonio,
Sierra.
yes, we do. Now, I've told you how I feel. You haven't uttered a single word. I'd like to get this settled before my mother comes down.
Your mother is not going to know from me that there's anything wrong between us.
Miss Sierra, Dr. Hughes is here?
Please ask him to come in, Matthew.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Sierra.
Hi, Dr. Hughes.
Tonio.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. We missed you at Memorial.
Oh, well, I miss everyone there, too.
Well, maybe when you finish medical school, you'll come back to us. I want to thank you for being such a good friend of my daughter.
Well, I like her. It's not hard. I know she's been through a lot lately, too.
Is your mother home?
No, she's in a meeting, but if you'd like to wait.
No, I'm afraid I can't. I'm on my way to a lecture at the university. Your mother and I had a rather heated discussion on the phone last night about an article in the City Times by Marcia Talbot.
I saw it.
It was very upsetting for my family. I know your mother's not responsible for every word that's put in her newspaper, but she does have some control over the content.
Well, I hope it didn't cause any problems.
Well, it did, but I'll run into your mother another time.
Oh, have they set the date for the trial yet?
No, but Tom thinks it'll be very soon. In fact, they're all in Colorado right now, reviewing everything that happened there.
Boy, this reminds me of Doug's jet. Keep expecting to see Marcia sitting here and Doug coming out and everything.
Don't do that. It's all in the past. Now, we got through that. Let's concentrate on getting through this.
Well, we land in Boulder in half an hour.
Oh, good.
Listen, that helicopter's not going to get us into Granite Falls till kind of late in the day. And I'm not real wild about you traveling after dark in your condition.
Yeah, it's a long climb to the house, Kim.
So I thought maybe I'd take the helicopter in today, just check the place out, and then send it back for you in the morning.
Sounds good to me.
You're gonna stay there overnight?
Well, sure. There's a sheriff guarding the place. He's probably lonely, needs a little company.
Yeah, imagine staying there alone.
Honey, take it easy now. Just relax. We're all going to be there together.
That's quite fine. You must be very isolated up here.
How'd you like to be stuck here 24 hours a day? I'm going to be talking to the squirrels soon. Nothing's been touched.
When do you expect Mr. Hughes and his party?
I don't know anything about it. There's no phone here.
Oh, well, he's supposed to be here tomorrow or the next day, and Mr. Hughes is the defense lawyer on the case.
Well, I'll leave you two alone so you can have a look around.
Okay. Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Ready?
What? I want to go through Kim's state of mind first before we go in. She heard Franny scream when she was in their room, their bedroom. The door was jammed. She couldn't get out. She went out the window. She comes around the house. She came in the front door, up the stairs, down this corridor.
Right.
And it was about here that she heard Franny scream again.
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by New Era Plus, protein power to cut clean through. And by Mr. Clean. For a clean so shiny, you have to ask, is it wet or is it dry? We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment.
Want me to explain anything to you?
No, I want to walk through this in Kim's mind. Tell me if anything doesn't sound right, okay?
Sure.
She opened the door, she came in. She saw Franny and Doug on the bed. Franny was unconscious, her dress was torn, and Doug was still attacking her.
Right.
Okay, she came over and tried to talk to him to get him off of Franny, and he didn't listen to her. He didn't even hear her. She sees the crystal cylinder over on the fire pit.
Mm-hmm.
She goes over, she picks it up, and she stabs Doug. Then she rolls the body off the bed and onto the floor, takes out the weapon, and lets it go next to him. Now, she's more concerned about Franny, who is still unconscious.
Well, that's all very logical, Margot, but if Kim stabbed Doug on the bed and pulled the body onto the floor, that cannot explain the slash in the bed hanging here and the blood stain here.
Hal, forget the bed hangings. Kim walks in here, sees a madman attacking Franny. Franny, Bob's daughter, her sister's daughter. He wouldn't listen to her. He never even heard her. Hal, if I were Kim, I would have killed him, too.
Is Mama going to have lunch with us?
Well, she said she's got to check on the feed supply first.
I'm cutting your chicken.
Wow. Give me a break. Makes me feel like Danny.
No back talk. No back talk. Come on.
All I can say is I can't wait for my hand to heal. Look, I looked at the hayloft. I figure we're going to need about 10 boards out there, okay? And I'll send a man over later this week.
Oh, really? No big rush at all?
No, look, I promised. And it's been way too long already.
Mike called. He said a friend of his who works for Miller Construction Company as a foreman is interested in working for us.
Is any good?
I don't know. I mean, Mike said he was pretty good, but the only time that he can meet with you is at the office at lunchtime.
Well, I can't do that. You're going to have to interview him. I got to get back to the site.
Well, no, it's important. You have to talk to him.
Well, look, I trust your judgment. Well, you talk to him if you think that he's good and the price is right.
No, there's no way that I can drop you off at the site and then get back to the office to meet this guy.
I can drive Steve back to the site.
There, fine. See, that's all settled. Now, while you're in town, do you think you could do a favor for me?
I suppose.
Will you please stop in and see Betsy, tell her that I've been behaving with my hand and I haven't broken my leg yet.
All right.
Cool. Okay.
All right. Well, I have to see Craig about something anyway.
Great.
So
fine.
there.
All right. And thank you for lunch.
And you're welcome.
Okay.
Oh, listen, before I forget, in case I don't see you before tonight, have a good one.
Oh, thanks. I'm going to need it.
Oh, I don't think so. You'll be great. Okay. See you later.
Right. Well, you're going to be working at the Mona Lisa every night now?
Yeah, if I don't get fired.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Well, I don't know anything about the restaurant business.
Well, look, neither does Craig Montgomery till a few months ago. I mean, he was working for Lucinda Walsh, right?
At Walsh Enterprises?
Yeah, he was her second in command. I mean, he was a big shot.
Why'd he leave?
Well, that's a long story. Ask Ivor sometime.
Already you have me at a distinct disadvantage.
Come on, Mrs. Walsh. You know your newspaper has a responsibility, right?
But not to you,
Well,
surely.
look, I was at the Hughes house last night. I saw firsthand what kind of damage that sort of sensationalistic journalism can cause.
You know, you've got gall. You have got a lot of gall. I am the person who is paying for your residence.
And another thing, you know what? I don't think you're taking care of yourself because your blood pressure's back up, you know
I'm
that?
not the least bit surprised.
Well, I don't think you're taking your medication.
Mind your own business.
This is my business. You're my patient. Are you taking your medication?
Would you tell Dr. Dixon for me not to bother to send you around, because this is it.
Listen, if you care at all about your health, you will listen to what I have to say. Because I know what I'm talking about.
Well, I know what I'm talking about, too, and I'm talking about you packing it in.
Is everything okay?
Yes, darling, I'm absolutely fine, and I take my medicine religiously.
Hallelujah. And watch the salt.
Like a hawk. Can you show yourself out?
Yes, and I hope you think about what I told you.
Here, I can show you the door, Dr. Craig.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Pruitt. Hi, Tony.
What a smug, self-satisfied young man.
You must listen to your doctors.
Oh, I talked to Earl Mitchell in New York, and everything is going fine.
Good.
As a matter of fact, you know, I was thinking I might go to New York and spend a few days.
I think he'd be delighted and pleased.
Yeah, if you do go to New York, you should take Lily.
Yes, darling, I already thought about that.
Lucinda, I'd like to call Mr. Channing and see if he's returned to his office. I'll use the phone in the day.
Yeah. Let's hope you can get him in this time.
All right.
Well, good. I want a chance to talk to you alone anyway. Now, what happened last night that got you so upset?
Darling, last night, everything is just fine.
But don't tell me that.
No, I mean, why ruin this beautiful day hashing over last night's thing? I mean, it was a tempest in a teapot. Everything is fine, and Lily is just wonderful now.
I still have the feeling it had something to do with Craig.
No.
Did it?
No, it didn't. Cook is fixing your favorite thing, lobster. Well, what did Channing say?
He hasn't returned yet.
Oh. Did you tell Sierra your news?
No, I haven't had a chance.
Well, tell her your news.
Your mother has given me Craig's old office.
And it's being redecorated for Tonio. What Tonio wants, Tonio gets.
Excuse me, Mrs.
No, Matthew, no, nobody. We are lunching.
Sorry, Lucinda, but I really need to talk to you.
I really didn't want to have lunch with you, Mr. Channing. I just wanted to have a chance to talk.
Well, go ahead and talk. I'm listening.
Well, I think you know what I want to talk about. You've been hurting my husband's business very badly, and if it continues like this, he could go under.
Well, I'm sorry about that. But we are competitors, and I do have a right to do what I think is in my best interest.
But you're not. Excuse me, but you've been losing money in all the jobs you've taken away from Steve.
Am I?
Yes, by underbidding him. Look, I know a thing or two about the construction business. I've worked with Steve in his office before. I mean, you must be working at a huge loss.
All right, let's suppose I am.
Well, why? What has Steve ever done to you? I mean, surely you realize now that there was nothing going on between Iva and him.
Perhaps.
Oh. Look, Iva Snyder is a good friend of mine. She's a good friend of Steve's, and that's it. Period. If you're angry with her because she didn't want to pick up with you where you left off, well, that's your problem. Don't blame Steve.
You are very loyal. And I must admit, I find it hard to believe that a man married to you would ever look at another woman. You and your husband obviously come from quite different backgrounds. But why not? That's the American way.
Let's just leave my marriage out of this. You know, another thing I found out, Mr. Channing, was that you hired Steve's best foreman away from him.
Oh, come on. I just got the best man for the job.
Oh, don't underestimate my intelligence here, please. I know that you hired him because you knew he was a key man in Steve's firm, and that's why you got him. But why? It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why you're doing any of this, especially if you're at a loss to yourself.
Well, I don't see why you're surprised. I'm sure Iva's told you what a villain I am.
Well, she did tell me she was in love with you at one time. I was, hoping that I could...
That I might have some redeeming human qualities.
Something like that.
Well, I'm sure Iva's given you her version of our relationship. Look, why don't you let me give you my side? Hello, Iva. It's too bad you didn't come earlier. You could have joined us for lunch.
Is Craig here?
No. No.
Look, I have to do some things in my office. We can finish our conversation later. I'll send somebody to pick up these things. Good day, Mrs. Andropoulos. Iva?
Oh, Betsy, come on. I wanted to have a talk with him. I asked him up here.
Why?
Why do you think? I wanted to get him to stop doing what he's doing to Steve.
Well, then why are you having lunch with him
I wasn't having lunch with him. I don't know. He came up here, got on the phone, and started ordering everything. I didn't want to
Okay, all right. I know you want to help Steve, but How do you think this would have looked if Steve would have walked in the door? Come on, he did this deliberately. You can't trust him.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Just stand around and watch him destroy everything my husband's worked so hard all his life for? I can't. I was talking to him, and I think I was starting to get through to him.
Oh, come on, Betsy, come on. He was just acting. He was acting like he was listening. I know him. I know the way he operates.
Look, Iva, I know you've had problems with a guy in the past, but it's not going to stop me from trying to help my husband. I'm sorry. I know you're right. It would have been hard on Steve to come in and see us. Please don't say anything to him.
I'm not going to say anything. Just stay away from him, you know?
I'll think about it.
Well, did Craig say what time he would get back?
Well, he should be back soon. He had a luncheon appointment, but that should be just about over by now.
That's all right, Matthew. We always have a moment for Mr. Montgomery. We were about to lunch. Would you care to join us?
I've already eaten.
Excuse me.
Do you mind? I'd like to speak to your boss in private.
Tonio, go ahead and tell Sierra I'll be out. In a minute. Hello. What can I do for you?
I want to know how Lily is.
She's okay.
Yeah.
She's fine. We had a good talk when she got back from the farm.
Good, I hope that's true.
Yeah, we did. We... What do you mean you hope it's true? Of course it's... Why would I lie? And she told me that you talked to her. And you were very helpful to her. The only thing that I cannot understand is why you would tell Iva Snyder about it.
I didn't tell Iva about it. Lily did. She needed somebody to talk to.
Oh. Oh. And you? Did you need anybody to talk to? You wanted me, and I wanted you. In spite of Sierra, in spite of Iva, you wanted me?
All right, let's leave Iva out of this. She's a friend of mine.
Friend? What is a friend? What does a friend do? They hold your hand. They listen to you when you talk, because I know you talked to her, because she told me that you did. But that's all you are? Nothing else? Good. Because she's not good enough for you.
Yeah, okay.
The unmistakable aura of Las Vegas.
I said leave her out of this.
Well, I'm sorry.
You don't understand a woman like that.
Oh, don't I? Never mind about her. I don't care about her. I care about you. Be honest with me. Can you be honest? You always think I can't be honest, but I lie. It's my fatal flaw, and you've redone yourself now, and you're a paragon of honesty.
Yeah, I
and
guess
truth.
that's the difference between us. I don't have anything to hide.
What I want to know is, I mean, Sierra, you've loved her all this time. Me, that was way, way back. Has there been anybody important for you since me?
Why don't you go have some lunch?
All right.
Mind if I use your phone?
I'd love you to use my phone.
Montgomery Associates?
Bats, hi, it's Craig. How's it going? Is Channing still there?
No, he's gone, but I was here waiting for you.
Okay. Tell her to wait. I'm on my way, okay? All right, bye-bye.
Mr. Montgomery.
Mr. Reyes.
I'll be brief. My wife doesn't want to see you again. She wants nothing to do with you. I want you to respect her wishes and stay away from her. Now, I think I've been very reasonable up to now, but I know what you're up to. If I ever find you near her again, I won't be so patient.
Okay, these can go out tonight, all right?
Okay.
And thanks a lot for staying late. I appreciate it.
It's no problem.
Okay.
Steve's working late, and he's being spoiled to death at her grandmother's. And, are On your way to Mona Lisa?
Yeah, that's the best thing about having a restaurant. There's somebody to cook you dinner every night.
Yeah. Well, would you have maybe just one?
Sure do.
Oh. Oh, why didn't you ask me all that with that
Oh, well, I figured that if you wanted me to know, you'd tell me.
Ah. Well, I talked to her, and I think I got through to him, Craig. I really do.
Really? Oh, so he promised to stop ruining Steve's business then?
Well, no, he didn't really promise anything.
Oh.
But I'm glad I talked to him. But then Iva came in and saw us talking. She thought it was a big mistake, my calling him.
And I think you should listen to her. She knows him pretty well.
What am I supposed to do?
Just go home, huh?
No, I'll stay. I'll stay, finish this stuff. Listen, if I stay late tonight, can I come in half hour earlier
Hey, come on. You make your own hours, you know that.
What a great boss.
Are you kidding? What a great, what are you? I forget.
Whatever. Good night.
Good night.
Mrs. Andropoulos? Well, I'm glad, and I'm glad that you're spending the night in Boulder. I'll be thinking about you tomorrow. I miss you, too. Well, listen, give my love to Franny and Tom, and I love you. Good night.
How is she?
Well, I had a good trip, but she sounds tense.
Well, knowing she has to go back to that awful place tomorrow.
I wish she didn't have to go back.
Well, I'm sure Tom would never have taken them out there if it hadn't been absolutely necessary.
Well, I know that, Mom. I just hope that they can find out whatever the discrepancies are between their stories and the DA's version.
I'll get that.
Dr. Brady, he's in the den if you think it's absolutely necessary to talk to him.
Yes, I think I'm going to talk to him now. Thank you.
Doctor.
Hi, Doc.
Dr. Peretti, if this has anything to do with the hospital, it can wait till tomorrow morning. This is not a good time.
No, this isn't about the hospital. I just wanted to tell you that I talked to Mrs. Walsh about the story she's been running in the City Times regarding your wife's case.
What did you say to her?
Well, I just gave it to her straight. I told her that I thought it was sleazy, irresponsible journalism and that it was causing your wife and your daughter a lot of grief.
What did she say?
Well, she didn't like criticism. I mean, she threw me out of her house. But I'm hoping she'll cool down and think about what I told her.
I don't know about you, Peretti. I mean, she's the one who's sponsoring your residency, funding it. Isn't that biting the hand that feeds you?
Well, I just don't like to see good, decent people get the bum rap, you know? Listen, I gotta get back to the hospital, but I just thought I'd tell you.
Thank you.
How's Mrs. Hughes and Franny? You heard from them?
I just talked to my wife on the phone. They're in Boulder tonight, and tomorrow they'll be going to where they were both held.
Doesn't sound like any picnic. I hope they find what they're looking for. Listen, if you talk to Franny, would you tell her I'm thinking about her?
I will.
Thanks.
Tom should be at Dream's End by now.
Yeah. I'm just so glad that we don't have to go in there today.
Me too. Well, I think I'll take a shower. What do you say we order something from room service?
Oh, that's a really good idea. I'm awfully tired. I think I'd kind of like to turn in early and get some rest before tomorrow.
It'll be okay tomorrow. We'll help each other through it.
Kim, the story you told the police doesn't explain these slash marks. These blood stains.
Tom's right. How did it get there? Who did it? Is this what I've blocked out?
Kim, how did this curtain get slashed? Why won't you answer me? You were there. You saw what happened. Trying to find out the truth here, Kim. Right now, your story doesn't hold water.
Hobson's going to use this against you in court, and if we don't find a way to explain this to the jury, they're going to think you're deliberately lying.
Tommy, I'm trying.
There's something you haven't told me, isn't there, Kim? Why? Why, Kim?
He's trying to defend you against a murder charge. If you're convicted, you could go to prison.
How can you withhold information from me when you know what we're up against?
Answer him, Kim, please. Just answer him, please. Please, answer him. Answer him. Answer him.
There is some explanation, Hal. There has to be, and it's probably a very simple one. What am I missing?
You know what I think?
What?
I think we should go back to Boulder and get some rest. It'll all be here tomorrow.
I can't leave now. I've gotten nowhere.
Margot, you're hitting your head against a stone wall. You just give it a rest.
There is something here that is staring me right in the face. I just haven't picked up on it yet, you know? Come all this way. I've got to give it my best shot. I've got to.
Well, if that's the case, I'm going to go get us some caffeine to get us through it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, nobody told me anything about it. All your papers are in order, so I guess it's all right.
Great, thanks.
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you by Antiseptic Scope with T25. Scope leaves your breath minty fresh, not medicine-y. And by Tide. On tough dirt, Tide won't quit till your clothes are clean. Stay tuned for Capital. Next on most of these CBS stations. Menswear by Barney's New York. Jewelry by Alexis Kirk. Join us tomorrow for As the World Turns.